Greetings, Windmill. And I'm Josh, and welcome back to the Windmill full of corpses. Katabasis, 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 Katabasis. Okay, so why? This is Katabasis, and none of the other 5 versions. Yes, it's the new song from Persefone's upcoming album Metanoia, which for some reason is with the lowercase m. Oh boy, so we checked out Merkaba back when that came out, the first single off of Metanoia. They have so many of the elements that we know and love for them, especially the tricky. But it's different in sound and in aesthetic and in atmosphere, and I'm scared. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this album at this point. I think this might be one of the first tracks, but yeah, Katabasis will be in the description below. It's our boys. You ready? No! Hey, that's a cave dweller! Let me! Okay. Oh! Oh man! Oh! Okay, wow! So what I really like about what they're doing musically is they have the kind of main noodling riff, and then around that, you kind of started on that, and then they brought in the heavy chugs and the keyboards at the same time. And that's what we noticed back at Merkaba. They made, with this album, the heavy stuff, like the really heavy stuff, and the atmosphere go hand in hand. Yeah. I feel like on the previous 2 they had them a lot more like alternating. But this was literally like just that riff, and then while the riff started cutting apart, so getting more complex and harder to follow, the keyboard theme that was like a melody that's easy to follow came in. Yeah. So they keep that balance oh so well. And they always leave the screamy guy for last. Yeah, I like that the verse came in. It kind of came in with most vocals, which generally in their older music come along with the more atmospheric bits.
Yeah.
You had the clean vocals on top of all the riffy dynamics, okay? And then only later drop into the scream. And that's also a bit Living Waves-ish as a structure. I think they learned a few stuff with that song, because both Merkaba and this one tend to emulate to some degree the evolutionary structure of that song. And that I think is the most balanced Persefone song before Metanoia. And Bobby looks like a freaking samurai, and I love him. Yes, he's the drummer. Yeah. Are we gonna talk about where they are? Well, they do have a lot of mountains around Andorra. But I'm not sure it looks exactly Andorra-like, though, because it's not exactly wintry. Well, it's not winter all the time in Andorra, only in the Living Waves video. Fair point. But anyway, fabulous spot to, do a video for this. I'm spotting some stuff that are reminding me of Athma a bit, where they, drop a chug, clear it out, and then start building it up with a, drum roll on the strum that amps it back up again. There's a certain sequence of transitions going on in the first part of Athma that does that exact thing 4 times in a row. Yeah. That's one of my favorite instrumental parts in Persefone. Okay. And they're doing that repeatedly. Need I say more? No, you don't. You really don't. We've been talking too long. Go. Okay. There's still a bit more image stuff going on, I think. Yeah, it's just credits. Okay. Second part. Let me gather myself a bit. So we had intro riff, yes. Clean vocals, yes. Bit of a dip, yes. Some more riffish, yes. Mark comes in, yes. Instrumental chopping part, yes. Mark comes in again, yes. I forgot the solo somewhere in there. I should stop saying yes because I'm not following you anymore. It doesn't matter, man. The second half kind of is 2 parts as far as I can tell. First, you had that really choppy, chaotic instrumental section, which reminds me of the bridge for In Lak'ech, to me. And from that, they had that cut with a spacey bit and drop into the epic. So it was a really cool contrast there of first really crazy dynamic and then that really catchy anthem at the end. Oh man, and they're both playing 7 strings in this one. Ooh, that's nice. Yes. In the video. Okay, so that final part was bloody majestic, but not exactly catchy to me. In fact, what I would say about this song particularly is that, like a lot of Persefone songs,
first listen, as much as I like it, is a bit annoying because I can tell just how much I could go mental to all those riffs if I actually knew what's about to happen.
Yeah,
and that's why you have to take their songs in.
It's a ton to unpack, and that's always fun to do with Persefone songs. And the reason they do that, and we highly recommend you do this, is because you can't really completely enjoy a song if you've listened to it once, which means you have to listen to it many times. Yes, we highly recommend that. Yes, do it. Do it now. And one more thing I want to say about the way the video was shot. You kind of have them like on this mountain edge looking into the sun, which is, I guess you could say it's inspiring in a way of that looking into the sun is something like looking towards an ideal or a goal maybe. But on the contrary, when you see their faces, they're all kind of like this. Yeah, it's hard to look at. Do you see our weather? Yes. And the reason why that's also really appropriate is because when you look to an ideal, on the one hand it's like bright and it beckons you forward, but on the other hand it's kind of like scary. So I just made the weirdest analogy between... I'm gonna stop talking now. Yeah, you talk way too much. I was trying to get thoughts and now I lost them. Anyway, you're gonna hate me for saying this. I heard, right at the end, a sort of sequence of notes on the guitar. Kind of like that. That straight up reminded me of the intro to Involuntary Doppelganger by Expressive. This band is much better than Archspire. It is much better than Archspire, but I feel they're getting more and more tight in their playing. Yeah, I think they're actually starting to border on tech death with this one. Particularly with the blasting that Bobby started putting in, that's very techy. And also with the sound, it's a lot more synthetic. And more... They've always had an organic element. But like the spikes when the drum hit, the way the orchestrals have these waves up and down, it's all like really controlled, really directed, as far as I'm concerned. And also the way the songs are written, because they're really complex, but they keep this flow. I don't know, it's a lot more different. They really are changing it up. It doesn't sound familiar to the other two albums. It doesn't have the same sound anymore. I find a lot more similarities between this and Merkaba than this and any other of their songs. So it's clear that they come as a package deal. I wish I could make more sense, but my god, it's just so much to take in, and first listen, it just hits me. Okay, so their albums are always kind of evolutionary from a beginning state, and this is the beginning state. So I'm really curious how they evolve from here, because that's been the case ever since Shinken, I think, with their albums. Yeah. So I think that's all we got. Be sure to check out this album when it drops. We will probably be reacting to all of it. A lot of it, anyway. So, if you enjoyed this reaction, we greatly appreciate the likes and shares, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe with bells on. Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon.